Hi, this is Emmanuel, and thank you again for joining me on this channel. And again, I hope you've enjoyed the videos that we've had so far. If you really like the channel, do please push the subscribe button, push the notification bell, put a like on there for us, put a comment down below. We'd really love to hear from you. But today I really want to talk about being careful not to judge people just because of what they're doing. Right? We all have different callings from God, and our callings may be very different. In fact, God may tell us to do some things that seem a little bit crazy. If we take a look at all the people God called, especially in the Old Testament and how they were, including in the New Testament, some of those were people that we would think that are completely weird today. Okay? So if somebody kind of seems weird to you, doesn't mean that they're not godly or anything else like that. They may just have a different calling. Let me give you some examples, okay? I want to talk about, Prophet Hosea, right? You may not know this, but God told him to go naked for 3 years. That's kind of crazy, right? Let's take a look at what about, Ezekiel, the priest, right? Something about Ezekiel that you may not know is that, God said, listen, as a sign, I'm going to take your wife away from you. So his wife died. And then God told him, hey, after your wife died, you're not going to mourn for her. People are like, that's a little bit weird, like your wife died and nobody's going to mourn for you. What about Hosea, right? God told him to go marry a prostitute by the name of Gomer. Yeah? Think about that. What about the great Elijah? God told him to go to the brook chariot where he was going to feed him with ravens. Now, you may think, okay, what is it about ravens? Bird feeding somebody's weird, but here's the thing. According to the law, ravens themselves are unclean animals, and so therefore to be fed by ravens is like, this is a little bit crazy, okay? So these are just examples. Take a look at John the Baptist as well. John the Baptist was one that was eating wild honey, right, and was out there in the wilderness, right, covered with a whole bunch of, hair, and, it's like, this guy is kind of unsightly. I'm just giving you examples of the people that God used that you can say we're kind of crazy, all right? Seeing somebody naked, see somebody not like, or sleeping on just one half of their side, putting a wall in front of each other like Ezekiel. Like, this is craziness, but it was God that asked them to do those things because it was going to be a sign, and it was using them in the way to speak to his own people. See, God wants to get our attention, and he is going to get our attention any way that he can do that. Some of those ways may look weird to you, but here's the key thing. Don't let the weirdness take you away from the message that God is trying to speak either through that person or through the situation. Forget about what the person looks like. Forget about what the person sounds like. Forget about whether the person is kind of like seeming like a little bit weird or they're speaking in a crazy way or whether it's something different from what you think of, right? Forget about that appearance and focus on the message that God is trying to get to you through that person. That is what matters most. A lot of people have missed the calling of God. A lot of people have missed the messages of God because they're more worried about what kind of package that message comes from instead of worrying about the message itself. Let God worry about the packaging. You just focus on the message. If you do that, you will no longer judge people for how they sound or their preference on how they worship or anything else like that. You will be able to get the meat and the principle that they're trying to deliver instead of just focusing on whatever it is, right? Whether it's a denomination or whatever else it is that we like to focus on. Remember, God can choose to show you a message and tell you things however he desires. All right? It is your job and my job to make sure that we're open to always hearing from God. However he decides to deliver that message. And that is the cool thing about God. And that's the key thing I want you to know today. Hey, I hope you found that interesting and exciting. And again, thank you so much for supporting this channel. We have many, many more videos planned. So keep it locked here and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.